Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transportvania 2, the Great Western Railway. We're descending back into the valley that we made last time into our new station of Drastoon, I think it's called. And we're going to start off by doing some terraforming. Today's episode is all going to be about vegetation and the landscape and making things look great. There's some quick and easy things you can do, and hopefully we'll cover all of them pretty rapidly. First thing I want to address is this egregious hill. If we go sideways, you can see it is way too steep to be a railway, so I'm just going to throw this all away and we're going to start again. I think we can do it from roughly around here, and yeah, somewhere around here. Actually, I think we can pull this back even more, and we're going to even out this whole area. Rather than cutting up the hill quickly, the plan is to snake all the way around over there and come back like we would in real life. And so we're going to call this the horseshoe episode. And I've got a feeling that did we go up to go down over here as well? I think we may use some of this area to give us some of our descent. I think about there will do it. So I'm going to get rid of all these roads so they don't get in the way and influence our decision. We can put it all back and then we'll landscape it in the second half. Same thing goes with this. This is all going to go away, and we'll use this edge as our new outward bound. And to the extent that this road probably won't exist anymore, this will be stonework, that will be stonework, and that one will exist, but we can do a better job up there. Straight road. And stop being wonky. Alright, yeah, that can be the top of the field, and this will all turn into stonework. Well, let's do the train line first and use that to gauge what we're doing. We'll do the right track, but mainly because we want to make sure that the inside curve is doable. So we're going to go round. So this tool, when it's this darker black shape, see how there's another color? This means it's on the train. Just because it's horizontal doesn't mean it's truly horizontal, and then there you have it. That's truly horizontal. And then there's degrees, how far you want to go. I'm going to just do one level here, and then I'm going to try to stay with the terrain as we go. So looks like we can go around the hill over here. So we'll be going over here, which means we are going to come out of the station quite straight. Because we can come out straight, we will come out straight. And if we get head on, you can see that there's that white, and it snaps. So we'll start around here, and that will give us something straight to snap onto. If we want to put points on that, we can still do it. It'll just be an angle point on a straight. And then we're going to start curving around. And I'm willing to go down to maybe 50 or 60. And if we can't do it, I'm just going to carve it out. And so using that number that we saw before, that grade, so we're doing like that, and then this is going to cut back the other way. Let's stay straight as much as we can. What we'll do is we'll fill that up a little bit. There'll be a lot of dirt movement today. I think I might press play so that way we can earn some money, because we're not super rich right now. This is still happy, still on that gradient. And then, yeah, we still need to go forward, because if we start turning, it just turns to rubbish. So keep on using that hill to our advantage. And I think we're getting pretty close to the point where we can do a U-turn. What's probably going to happen? Yeah, since there is a town over there, I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into somewhere where there is a pull-off. So it's good that we've got a straight piece there, because we can then do that. I'm actually going to do that with the same gradient so I know it matches. And then we're going to start doing a turn. So what I'm looking for, I'm going to work out my radius by the amount. So I'm going to go for a 60 the whole way around. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if we do a bigger one, that will give us a better idea. Please cut it out. And we'll do a whole lot of terraforming for the rest of that. And I think we're getting slowly up to grade. We have to get a little bit higher. That hill over there is what we're aiming for. So still going up. Our curve is finished. And so I would like to kind of go parallel to this. So kind of like that direction. And I think we may be able to, yeah, so that's up in the air. So we can now, I think, go back to level. So that's level. And I will actually stay high here. And we'll get rid of anything we need to get rid of. I mean, this series has tried to keep the farms, but it is important as well to get the rails where they need to be. Actually, what I might do is I'll go up one more level for a bit longer, and then we'll cut in. So let's aim for that point there. And then, yeah, we're definitely high now. Let's go for level. So now we actually need to go downhill. Interesting. So we're actually higher than we need to be now. So a bit of an optical illusion. It looks like we're climbing. Are we really climbing? We're not climbing. We are climbing. It's an interesting optical illusion. It's like, yeah, that's, if you look at the screen, I'm trying to make it look straight on. Yeah, it's about the same height either side. So it looks like we did go high to go low. There's look like there's a hump there. So we went too far. So this is the point we want to aim for. So we'll put that in there. Make sure it's level. And yeah, so in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back the other way and work out what that looks like from that direction. So yeah, it looks like we actually did go too deep. And yeah, it was, okay, so it was way too deep. So we can cut some of this back. Well, probably means we could have actually done a lower level. Yeah, let's keep this tight, and then we can actually just make that bit a constant arc. And there we have it. Not too deep. There's going to be a sharp turn here, but that's because of the width, not because of the angle. And then we'll use quite a heavy angle to go down there. Yeah, I like that. Particularly because if we come this direction and go off that way, we want a nice straight area there. And yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to get rid of that. Do I want to get rid of that wiggle? So if we come out here, and we'll keep up that 1 degree thing. The whole point here is the establishment of a direction that is straight. And then we'll get rid of that piece because that's not necessarily exactly on the angle that we want. And this one I'm going to force to be horizontal. Oh, we are still high. Interesting. All right. Yeah, this I don't want to go high. So if we're too high, we're too high. So this one can go down. Oh, maybe we actually can try level there. Yeah, there we go. And it has all been worked out. So this is still on the level. Yep, forced level. And we'll tighten that corner. Aim for where we want to aim for. And I think we are very, very close to making that successful. So good enough. So we'll put that in, and then that will smooth out the angles. And we now, actually, we want the other side. So let's, yeah, let's use this as an opportunity to clean up the field. And we'll aim for, I think that one can aim for the other side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull this back as far as possible. And then we should get a beautiful arc. So this is going to be the inside one. So we want the other one. And pretty straight. It's nice and flat through there. Is any hump in there? I don't think so. I think that's pretty good. So let's get the other track in. It's pretty impressive how far you can actually stretch it sometimes. And there we have it in, how long did it take? 10 minutes with a bit of waffling to relay a track to a way that's, I think, a lot more pleasing. And actually, that's a good point. With that spur line's on the wrong side. Actually, we probably can go straight over it. Yep. And this guy can merge in. So it merges in at the same point. You can see these little things. Then you know that they're parallel. Pull that out to there. Keep on going. Start using the longest stripes here. Down into the valley. And straight in to the station. And so there's actually, the main line actually is not that track. The main line is actually these two tracks. I'm going to destroy all this and we'll lay them in towards where they need to go. Will let this be the divergent point. You go there. You go there. So in and out. And then from about here, we'll go into the spur line, which is the end for the train. And then they need a spot to get in. So if you grab a spot, see that straight line? And you put, risky it along there. That will be a nice high-speed entrance. And with all of that, we now have a re-established line with a nice grade. And I'm just putting in the right signals everywhere. Turn it around. Having a hard time seeing where I'm going. And there. And that should be it. So when the train comes down the main line, the passenger train comes in, across, and then leaves. And everything's great. Signals everywhere. So let's get some action going. I press pause on this guy. So, are you ready to go? There you go. And they should be happy. Siding point goes, and off they go. All right, let's talk about detailing. So, some of the obvious things you can do are bridges. We don't have a road into town. We can go under or over. I think over makes sense here. So, we'll just grab the terrain tool. There's two parts to this. You make a bridge over the top. I like to use a solid brush. I think this should be about the right height, actually maybe even more than we need. And we'll make a hill on that side, bring down the brush size, make a dell that's more abrupt on the inside. Doesn't matter if it's too big. It will the bridge itself will fix that. Now this is on a hill, so I'm having to click and drag the height, click and drag the height, click and drag the height. Well, that's way too high. All right, so let's do it probably around here. So let's grab that height. Yeah, it's actually, while it's there, it's a good chance to check it. Yeah, that's about the right height. I think this will be our landing spot on this side. This will be our landing spot on that side. Push it out. Push it out. And in theory, if I've done everything correct, we will be okay. I think it's a little bit high. There it is. Ta-da! And because we pushed it out, we get pillars. And yeah, it looks good. So now just play with the angle. I think that looks pretty good. And now we can do a whole lot of training. We'll do the same thing over there by the horseshoe. Grab this tool, round, and pull things in. So pick it where your mouse is, defines the height. So pull it in, and then you can make a gradient pretty easily. Push this out, pull that out, pull that out, pull that out. And so as I go along the track, as it gets higher and higher, you can see as I'm getting these steps. And it just looks a little bit more natural as you do that. Pull it out, pull it out. We can go a little bit further in sometimes. Pull it, and so other areas we can get a bit more shallow. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. And then we can go the other way too. We can push it in. If we go a bit more, grab this tool and make some hills up, make some hills that are down, cut it, push it. Don't be afraid to manipulate the ground. What you're looking for is non-uniformity. All right, so then when you smooth it, you get all these bumps, which is actually a lot closer to reality. Let's push out that other side as well. I like to use the round one because it's a bit more organic. If you use the square one, it can be alright. You just tend to get these bit more of triangles, which can be kind of good to make little formations. Let's push this out. So my big tip, big tip is when you're using smoothing, this one, the equal sign, do it small. Small. So let's make this ready for a tunnel, because that's going to dig through there as a tunnel. So we'll prepare that for that. Let's pull that in. Yeah. So let's do the smoothing. So nice and small, because if I do it, it has a lot of effect. If I had that brush to where it was before, it just destroys everything. It's so easy to destroy your work. Let's make it a bit more quieter. It's really easy to destroy your work. So be really careful with the smoothing thing. Yeah. And so that looks good. I think this is we'll give this some areas where it's a bit slopey, some area where it's not. And I think we need to push this out a bit again, a bit wider, because they're not going to have the dirt right next to the tracks. They're risky of that triangle-y, pyramid-y shape next to the track. It's just not real. And also, by doing this, we're going to gain space to put vegetation next to the track, which always looks good. All right, and before you know it, we have a gully that actually doesn't look too bad. Now, these hills are a bit undulating. First things first, we're not going to keep them that way. Let's do some assetting. So we're going to use trees. I have this painting tools by Ingo, I-N-G-O. He's got a ton of stuff on the workshop. Ferns will be at the bottom of really dense places. So before I put anything else in, around the bottom of all of these depressed areas, I'm going to put in ferns, because they're going to be in where there's shadows. And I'll put some around there. It doesn't have to be too accurate. We're about to cover this up with trees anyway. But you'll see them poking through. Might go a little bit less strength and a bit more size. And we are... Oh, I didn't want that up there. If you make a mistake like that, just use the delete tool. You can leave a bit up there. All right. Next one we want to use is a tree. Unfortunately, the amount of, if I put this down, you see that brown area? In that area, nothing else. You can't place another object. So, like, if we want to put a fern, we can't. Right? The closest you can get is around that. So it's an exclusion zone. So what you have to do is choose a tree that doesn't have a small base. And so, unfortunately, all of these trees have a big base and they cast a lot of shadow. So you're not going to get stuff underneath them. This is one of the smaller ones. They're all they're all pretty bad actually. So you want to choose something that is pretty big in this type of situation. And yep, sleep side paintable is no. And randomize, yes. Skip collision, no. So let's get some trees in like this. And if you just keep on wiggling in an area, it'll paint in. Now what I'm doing is just going along the edges, and I'm assuming for some reason this tree likes to be on the edge. I don't know why. So whoever's there first wins, so you don't really overpaint too much. No, is it first or last? I might be wrong there. So I'm deliberately not going too close to the track. All right. And I think that would do for that tree. All right, let's get this guy out. A bit more strength, a bit more size, actually a lot more size. And we're going to fill this in. Now we do want to have gaps between the trees here. Remember that shadow effect I was talking about? Unfortunately, there's not that many trees available in the workshop. So you've only got the 4 or 5 to choose from. And along the track, along here. More the better. I haven't really noticed anything that causes a frame rate problem. And we'll do along here since there seems to be stuff in the first place. There we go. All right, so the next one, the one I really love is under paint tools. This guy, if you type in forest underbrush, this stuff is great. So really, really low density. And it's kind of like ferns, but kind of not. So we're going to use them a lot just to fill in the underbrush. So where there's these big cedar type things, put a lot under there. And then weak under there, really thick under here. And before you know it, particularly in here where there was a lot of density, really, really pour it in. Keep it, these things like glades, leave them nice and empty. Just follow the tree line. So places down here by the track where there's these little nooks, give them a little bit more of a polish to the extent that actually get rid of some of these trees that are stopping it from being painted. And really build those up in those areas. Yeah, these trees here are stealing too much of the limelight. So you can see the stuff popping up. So this is like a ground texture like the grass, where the trees are an asset over the top. And so we are actually painting it, but the trees are stopping them from drawing. Yeah, so what I'm looking for is little areas like this where nobody's going to be coming in and mowing it. Outside corner here. And yeah, looks like, now this is a little bit, yeah, a bit too much. Smooth that down a bit. But you do want these little up and downs, right? That's what makes it look pretty real. All right, let's continue with the painting. Yeah, going along like you're on a train helps. Really push it into these little gully things. Now you don't want the strength to be too high. You want it to like build it up. You don't want it just to go blat and get 100%. Now, yes, I am building it up to 100% sometimes, but you don't want to do that too much. Yeah, I don't like these trees here. I might come along and delete them. And before you know it, we have done, I think, a half decent job. Yeah, it might be a little bit too much there. And there's things like, flowers that you can plop in as well. Especially in places like this. It's a little bit of very, very subtle, You see those little blue things? Let's go for like maybe a little bit of red over here. Yeah, that's a bit too much for my liking. Like, you know, this is more of a water thing. Here we can go up on the hill here. For some reasons, you know, these things have taken over. But there you have it. Actually, that's not bad for the wall itself. Yeah, just experiment with it. You know, have fun. You know, maybe you've done a little bit too much, but that's fine. And there you go. So okay, that's 25 minutes. Let's do some quick rock work, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to quickly, for 5 seconds, fix this. Brush size pretty big. Come out here, flatten this side, and I'm just going to give this weirdity. So you go weird, 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 and then smooth, 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 and all of a sudden it doesn't look so uniform and like a computer game anymore. All right, roads and everything else. So I think that one can be smooth. Let's just keep the roads simple. We've shown roads a lot over the series. I'm just going to come on. Understand which tendril I want. I want that tendril. Yeah, we go. Next to the railroad line, make your mind up. We want to go towards that bridge. I think that something like that is pretty fine. That's curve. There we go. So because of that dip we made, it's a bit weird, but that's fine. Across there, and then which way are we going to go? Forward makes no sense, so I'm going to tell that to be happy at a town edge there. I think I am tempted to go to the left there, so let's really cut this down. So I know I said I was going to do rock work, but we need to do this a little bit. So bring this down, bring this up, and smoothify. Alright, so road. Coming over a bridge then going at 9 degrees is fine. It's quite common. And we'll upgrade that to the slightly bigger one. It's the main road, and at some point that will turn into a highway. And you can come back again on that edge and smoothify up to the road level, please. All right, and then I think, can we go the other way too? Yeah, let's go the other way too. Let's follow that. To the edge there that we have. Let's use that as a guide. And bulldoze. And before you know it, we have rebuilt a city. And that. And then because this is all kind of weird, we are going to pull this out, pull this out, pull this out. As in touch the road, pull, touch the road, pull, touch the road, pull. And pull this out, touch the road, pull, touch the road, pull, and then a quick, and there we have it. You have a nice wonky thing, and that kind of makes sense. Well, good enough for now. All right, rocks. Under placeables, assets. So under this one, 1111, which is indigo, we have these stone walls. Exactly the same as a fence. You actually can do it as a fence. So under here, so this one is you're placing it and it's just a piece that you're going to put down. Use this to make ruins and stuff, and this is like a fence. I like 200%. They're pretty small in the first place. So yeah, I'm just going to do this quickly, make sure we're working with something decent. All right. Rock walls can riskily go wherever a road is kind of optional. So like this one's a good example across here. That's kind of optional. So we can get rid of these. So the top and the bottom makes sense, but across doesn't. Same thing with here. That can be a rock wall. And from a road point of view, let's go around the outside. And that would be it. I know I deleted them, but yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll go like that. Keep it away from the railway line. Come on, come on. I might have to hold down C to stop snapping. And I'm actually going to make this a curve at the end. All right. Yeah, so if we don't like texture, actually I'm going to leave that hanging out because it's dirt, but if you don't like texture, just use the paint tool and use the delete brush. And solid, that one. I like using a solid one. And we can get rid of all that. And voila, it's like it never existed. In fact, yeah, we'll get rid of this. All right, I like to get rid of, like if this is wheat. Oh, sorry, that's corn, and this is wheat. There's no way they would plant up to a rock fence, which is what we're going to put on. So I'm going to get rid of, wish I didn't mean to do that. This is dirt. Gravel? Nope. Dirt. Where are you, dirt? Yeah, so they wouldn't plant up to a rock wall. So let's use the delete tool. So you can get rid of that. And you can go away as well. All right, so let's put in a rock wall. So under assets here, like a line, or like a fence. Go, oh, don't do that. Let's try again. Line from here. We'll start here and then we'll start a curve. If the curve isn't coming where you want it, see how it's kind of like arcing to the right. Just start a smaller curve and go up to here. Don't forget that you need to have entrances. So this will be maybe an entrance in here. So we can make a tiny little one here. Line from here over to, actually, yeah, let's make the entrance out here. I always forget to press start. I still have, oh, there goes line. Yeah. So, yeah. So now it's just a matter of going, you can do straight lines. Because this is around a forest, I'm actually going to come out here. Now, as you saw, it does delete trees if you touch them. The touching would be the radius of their base. And you would be surprised how fast this transforms your world. Let's go all the way over to here. And then I think I'm going to come in a micro amount. Finish, start again. That'd be a gap in the for a gate. And you can see how this corn doesn't look right when you haven't deleted it. So arc's usually better than line. If you get to an area like this where obviously you're not going to turn the corner properly, just change it to line temporarily, and then you can go to curve. So our gate's on that bottom right corner over there. So we don't need one here. And across here. Even this road here is kind of superfluous. Line. All right, so that's that one done. Let's go back over here. And we'll do... Actually, this one's not really lined up, so we'll get rid of that and make that a gate there. And same thing, we'll go forward. This is pretty straight. Yeah, let's put a gate. Do we want to put a gate? No, let's not put a stone thing around there. Let's get that all open, that one. We'll keep this one nice and straight. Now this is the inside of the field. It's like the path. And we'll stop there and put the gate there. Yeah, it's pretty simple. And it doesn't take too long to trace out a field. I don't want to go too far. Alright, is this the gate or have we got a gate? We've already got a gate over there, so that's not going to be a gate. And there, and we'll press finish. There you go. And then, so this one happens to have the need for an internal gate. So we have two choices. We could repaint this or we can actually make it two fields. So let's start here. And we'll make an internal line. I'm going to ask a question in a sec. I'll ask you, tell you the answer. What do we need to do now to make this look correct? If anybody remembers, that's right, you need to go to the paint tool and scrub it out a small amount, quite small. So you want either side of that fence so that the planting tool hasn't gone through. And there you go. And then same thing, I think we did that edge already. That edge is done. And we need to do over here because this is where they're coming up and turning the corner. Yeah, looks good. If you want to go full hog, there is mods that let you do like footpaths particularly. And what you can do is put one of them in. And they look like dirty part. These are real roads. Oh, we don't want the angle of the ground to happen. Small parts. So that way it follows the land. Yeah, this is absolutely fine for it to go up and down, up and down. And then we can use this to go around the corner. It's actually trying to snap to the road, which is kind of helping. And then I think we'll just leave it like that. So yeah, nice little internal path to access the field. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, I would do probably all this area in one session. Right. That was okay. We're up to 37 minutes right now, I think. But yeah, it gives you an idea of the type of detailing you can do with some simple assets like stone walls. I mean, obviously, when it comes to fences, you can choose anything in the fence list. I mean, you can actually just put a normal barbed wire fence. Maybe that's what this one is. So if you can't get it to snap, see how it's being really weird because the roads are there. It's trying to snap. Just hold down C. And pull it out to, I'm having to hold down C here to make it not be weird. Once you get it going, the curve tool seems to be the easier way of doing it because nothing's actually really straight. This is also something that's great to put next to the train line, like a security fence. I can hear the train chuffing in the background. It must be, is it on the loop? There it is. Yeah, let's quickly get this done, then we'll watch it go down the horseshoe. Yeah, it's amazing how fast you actually can do this. I'm not going to worry about making a gate in this. Turn it to line so we can go around the corner. Hold down C to get the snapping problems fixed. And finish. And there we have it. A job well done. See how much of a difference that makes? From this angle, from the train angle, the rock fence, particularly the stone fence, hides that corner. You can see that little paths in there, internal to the fields. Definitely make it work well. Here's all that foliage. There's probably a little bit too much here on the far edge. That could be thinned out a bit. Yeah, all those nooks and craggies of dirt left and right because we pulled out the dirt as we did it, and we're seeing lots of little different effects. We're seeing those ferns. We're seeing the forest things. We're seeing a little bit of that brush on the hills. Sounds like this train's just on close to its limit. You can hear the screeching of the flanges. yeah, varying up the tree type gives it a bit more variety, a bit more appeal. Yeah, I think that came out okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Not a bad... What's that? My recording says 40 minutes and 20 seconds. It'll be a bit less in real life because of cuts and stuff. But not bad work for less than an hour. It's transformed the whole area. We've got... What have we done? We've regraded a track. We made a horseshoe. We made a spur line designed to go for the future. We reattached the main line. We made a bridge over the track. These ones right here. We put in stone walls, fences. We manipulated the way that crops, particularly the wheat and the corn, planted, got rid of that edge so that, you know, because you won't plant all the way up to a stone wall. There's a floating signal there. I'll have to go fix that. Yeah, made a lot of good progress. I'm going to change this before I forget. There was, there's two things. A, this signal is right behind a tree, so that's kind of stupid. So we'll get rid of the tree. And we have this signal from where we were before. So that gives you an idea of how high we were before. We're up, way up there. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Obviously, this area here hasn't got much decoration to it. You can definitely do this area as well and everywhere else. And some things where, you know, you might want to tweak it. I think, you know, it's more justified that, for example, that this is, you know, Fancy Road, for example. But yeah. Which one do you want? There we go. But yeah, I think that was good progress. Actually, I don't know if we want that type of tree line road down there. But yeah, I do like the way that... I'll leave that going so we can hear the train. I do like the way it came out. I mean, these fences are probably a little bit small. I want something maybe a little bit more, from a ratio point of view, a bit higher. I think it looks small because we changed the ratio of the stone walls to be the big ones. But yeah, I am happy with how that all went. We'll watch this guy crawl up the hill and say goodbye. Don't forget to press subscribe so you can see more of this Transport Fever action, particularly, you know, the detailing side of the game with both detailing stations, detailing the world and all that type of stuff. And the production chains and all that stuff. And then also the Great Western Railway approach to this as we see these beautiful green engines honk around the map. We'll definitely try to move time forward and get some new engines going very soon, and we'll continue to join all the fast cities together and let's get a complete passenger network. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on the railways. See you, everybody.